Hello everybody, my name is Big Chaz and I'm going to be taking you through a little tutorial on how to do the any percent route on Soul Reaver. Now, I'm currently awaiting my third place to be verified on the current any% speedrun.com leaderboard. So I'm by no means the best at this game, but I've got pretty dang good at it, and I'm going to show you how I do my runs at least. Now, first things first, if you're a speedrunner, you want to record this, you want to stream this. Now, this game, Soul Reaver, because it's old for some reason, takes up the entirety of the screen. So I would suggest second monitor, third monitor, as many monitors as you can fit, so you can run your OBS or equivalent or live split on the other monitor so you can actually see what you're doing. Now, when you're doing your OBS or such like, you want to make sure these are running as administrator in the background, both your OBS and your live split here. Want to make sure they're both running as administrator, and that means the hotkeys will be global even when you're in the game. But in the Legacy of KAIN Soul Reaver, you just want to start as normal. I've put about 75 hours into this game. I doubt I'm going to do 75 more. Here, I use the good old games version. You can use the Steam version. It's totally up to you. I've heard bad things about the good old games version, but at that point I already bought it, so I thought, fuck it. Now, I make sure that my select driver is going through my interface, width, blah blah blah, but you need to make sure this matches your audio output capture on your OBS and whatever. So let's see what this does. Now when you get to here, enter to start. Now you start your live split when you press start a new game. So like so. Mash escape or whatever is bound to skip cutscene. And this cutscene is unfortunately unskippable. It is 1 minute and 40 seconds. There's no way to skip it. It's just something you're going to need to live with. As you may see, I've done 261 attempts at this game. And these are just my custom splits. These aren't necessary. But it's just good for me, just in terms of timekeeping. So I've got them at certain points of the game. Everyone can have different splits, it doesn't matter as long as you get the final split at the end of the game. But there's more than one way of doing it, and there's also more than one way that the game can shit on you. You need to be ready for both of those. Now, at the start here, I am just going to run. It's just running and jumping. Nothing crazy, just running and jumping. Nothing, no rocket science. There's no way to really do this faster. Just running and jumping. Get to here. Now, what you want to do is see that circle over there, just above Raziel's head. That circle on the portal. That is the cutscene trigger. So you want to jump as close to that and get onto it as fast as possible. Most of the start point is just sort of good movement, especially at the very start. It's all just good movement. So here's just running and jumping again. Until you get to here. And this is another cutscene. It's very cutscene heavy at the start. I wish we knew ways of skipping these. As of right now, we don't have any answers. Now, for the feeding of the souls, you want to be as close as you can get to the black hole which the geezer's sort of emitting from. But you want to just sort of do a run jump. Nothing too fancy, just a run jump. Don't waste time trying to like move about and like get to an exact position. Just wherever you land, hold E to feed. I've got it bound on E because it's closer to the Wasad. That's what you're aiming for. You're aiming for the animation of him eating the souls to almost be instantaneous. If you're over here, you see the soul takes a while to come out, get into it. You want it so it's literally instant. So you'll see this maybe. Like that. That is what you're aiming for. Once you're filled up, the portal will open and just get ready to jump. Over here, instead of just jumping forward, what you can do is jump, go to an angle. And that means he won't grab. So for here, this is a crouch jump. Or you can do it with a normal jump, which is a grab jump, but we don't want that. So what you can do, crouch, jump, glide over there. Stops you grabbing and saves you a vital second in your run. Now, a double jump is a glitch, hence any percent. And what it does is essentially tricks the game into thinking there's a ledge above you at the top of your jump. So it's like jump, and then underneath my feet it thinks there's another ledge and allows me to jump again. Now, how we trick the game into doing this is not that simple. So I'm just going to do it in the middle here, just to sort of demonstrate the inputs. So I'm pressing crouch, pan left, stop with palm right. I'm now holding all three keys in, and then I want to open the glyph menu. If it looks like this, you've done it correctly. And then you close the glyph menu. I've still got all three of those keys down. Okay? Let go of crouch. Then we're going to do 2 crouch jumps. In the 2 crouch jumps, I'm going to say aloud when I'm pressing the keys. So I'm still holding palm left and palm right. Once you've done the first crouch jump, you can let go of palm left and palm right. Okay? I know it's confusing, but once it's demonstrated, you might understand a bit better. So, crouch jump, crouch jump. That is essentially it. Now, timing the jump can be tricky. I'm going to demonstrate it again. Crouch, pan left, hold pan right, open glyph menu, close glyph menu, crouch jump, at the height of the jump, another crouch jump. Okay? Now, how to sort of judge the height of your jump, because it needs to be at the very top of your jump. This crouch jump is to get up here. This black sort of fissure in the texture is going to be essentially, roughly, where the ledge is. So if you just pretend you're going to jump off of that, like that, pretend that's a ledge. It's one of those ones where you can, it's like those old Mario games where you can sort of jump through it, but then once you land on it, it's a solid surface. Treat that as the second ledge. That is roughly the height of the jump, okay? So I'm just going to do it quickly. See, it looks like a crouch jump off of that. Glide up here, and actually done here. Now, just for demonstration purposes, I'll do it again. So you want to just be essentially roughly here. So yeah, if it doesn't end up, so what if it's like this? If it's like this, let go of everything, close glyph menu. It's not, the glitch won't work. It needs to be where it zooms into the back of his head, like that. Now, if you wonder why I'm doing that so fast, I'm doing the exact same inputs, just fast, in the correct order. So, crouch left, right, crouch left, right. And you can do that almost instantaneously after, and that's how you get it so fast. I'm going to try and help you understand the double jump a little bit better. Okay, so this is, wait, you can't tell that's Raziel. Now it's perfectly clear this is Raziel, and this is after we've pressed crouch, left, and then pan right. So this is the current position, and we've also opened up the glyph menu. So now we've got the glyph menu up, and it's zoomed into the back of his head, okay? So glyph menu's up, we've pressed crouch, pan left, pan right, and opened up the glyph menu. Then, there's that sort of weird texture, okay? That's sort of like a black thing. Now, what we're going to do is imagine that is a platform, okay? Just as solid as the ground is here, and as solid as the ledge is up there. We're going to crouch jump onto it, and then crouch jump onto the ledge. Now, we won't know that we're on this, so that's just how you need to time it. But after that, just jump through here. Now, there's one or two options of here. Let's cover the first option. Now it comes to this slewer fight. Aha! Fantastic. They can either be both yellow or one green and one orange. Now in this case it's one green and one orange. That just corresponds to their health. So when it's one green and one orange, you want to just beat the crap out of the green one first, okay? You want to lure this one, hit it once, lure him again, and then flurry. Hit him 3 times, done. Guaranteed win, and guaranteed dead. Okay, so these are the 2 options that you have for that slewer fight. Now, I've put the dots representative of how much health they have. So a green slewer takes 6 hits, and an orange slewer takes 4. Once they get to 3, they will panic and run away and turn red. Not necessarily in that order. That's what makes the fight so difficult, which is why listening to me is paramount. Kill this guy, get rid of all of his health, then go to this guy, hit him once, so then he's on 3, so he's not going to run away just yet. Then use the auto face dodge function to sort of swing around him. He will most likely charge at you, do that lunging attack, and then you get the rest of his health. That's how you do slewer fight variation 1. Variation 2 is slightly more finicky. Go over to one of them, doesn't matter which one this time, knock out all of their health. This guy hit twice, so now he's on 3 health again. Just like over here, lure him, he'll lunge, then wipe out his last 3 health. And that is the foolproof way of doing the slewer fight. Now once you've done that, you want to crouch jump over here. I struggle with it, but we're trying to do the sort of jump at an angle and avoid grabbing it again. But even in my best run, there you go. So it's roughly about here. I'll mess it up all the time. But you essentially want to try and crouch jump and avoid grabbing it up here as well. Then it's just jumping, running, jumping, running, jumping. Here again, just jump at an angle so you don't grab. Then jump over here. Now at this point, there's 2 ways you can do this. I'm just going to talk through them rather than demonstrate them. You can either do a really big penis jump. Or you can just walk over. Walking over is more reliable, but jumping is faster. Now this is where my material realm split is. Just so I know how fast I've done the opening section. But to be honest, the opening section, really, the only thing that will slow you down is if you've got poor movement and if you've done the slewer fight incorrectly. But if you followed the tutorial so far, you should be fine with that. Now here's just a run and jump over here. This part of the run is way more important in KAIN 2 than it is in KAIN 1. Way more important. Because you can do a jump over here and make it, but the game still thinks you've hit the water. I'll see if I can trigger that now. Right, okay. I've done it correctly, but occasionally it will do a splash of water and you see your health will go down a little bit. And that will cause you to lose the Soul Reaver, which is not what you want in KAIN 2. See there's a splash of water? That is exactly what you want not to happen in KAIN 2, because you will lose your Soul Reaver like that. So you just come through here, wait to hear the door close before you activate this cutscene. If you don't, there's a chance that these 2 Kin of Dooma will be standing up, activated and ready to fight you, even though you haven't actually entered the room yet. It's one of these sort of run breaking bugs, which even the task apparently had to be slowed down to accommodate. So yeah, the temptation is to just run jump straight after you've went through that door. Yes, you could get away with it if you're on a really good run, but I wouldn't risk it personally. Now here, I'm just going to do a crouch jump. Get to about here, and we're going to do a double jump. Now, how to sort of aim the height for this one is pretending you're jumping on those spikes, just over Raziel's head, those spikes, that's roughly the height you want to get to. And you're gliding over a cutscene wall here. So you've jumped over it, wonderful. So what we're doing is we're crouch jumping, gliding that way onto here, this ledge. We want to position ourselves sort of just before the ledge. We don't want to go down onto it because then we might trigger the cutscene, and also we might not get the height enough. We really need to be on this ledge. If you can do it all in one go, perfect, that's what you want to do. Because after the double jump that we talked about, they then go over this cutscene. You need to remember to glide, because it is not a very thick wall, but it's a wall enough that you need to glide at least a little bit to get the distance to make sure to clear it. And then you'll be going onto the box bit. Now you want to come over here to this block, crouch, holding crouch, press action. This flips the block and avoids a cutscene where it teaches you how to push a block. So you just want to get round, so you want to go 2 forward and 2 to the left, which not only gets it in good position, but simultaneously kills both Dumakin. And that, because this cutscene is unavoidable, because this cutscene removes the portal from the passageway up there. So you need to kill them, and you need to move the block, so this is the best way to do it. Now what you do is you flip over here. Remember, holding crouch because it will trigger a cutscene. If you accidentally trigger the cutscene with the block, these Dumakin can come alive while you're still pushing the block over here if you accidentally push it. And that means you need to fight both of them, which is essentially a run killer. Now what I do to avoid getting too close is I crouch jump, and then crouch jump again to get up to here quite cleanly. Now we're going to introduce you to another technique that we're using here, and it's called TIMESTOP. Essentially what you're doing is you're straddling between loading zones and tricking the game into forgetting who you are. That is not the scientific way, that is not necessarily an accurate representation, but it's the easiest way to describe it without getting into it. Essentially it's loading this side of me and this side, well this section of the game and this section of the game, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, like alternating. This is a very good example of one side being loaded and one side not being loaded. So I think this is, I'm including this clip just as to better enforce what's actually happening here. As you may see, it's getting loaded left side, right side, left side, right side. And that's what is helping us get TIMESTOP. And we're just opening the glyph menu, we're straddling both loading zones. So you want to get into, because this is a loading seam, we'll call it a loading seam, that'll be easier to understand. We'll try and get the camera so we're facing this pretty straight on. Now, whoa, TIMESTOP magic. How to get into this TIMESTOP, and I'll get out of it just to demonstrate it, is you can see the glyph menu is starting to have a bad time. Now you want to capitalise on this bad time by stopping it crying. So it's crying right now, you just want to stop it. Stop crying, glyph menu. And you want to do that just after it glitches. Like that. Oh. Like. Now you can either spam it and start slowing down your spams, and eventually you'll get it, or you can time it, because the golden spot, sorry. So the golden spot is 2 frames after it glitches off. Like, you know, when it glitches black you can't see it. So you can either time it or you can do the spamming technique. Both ways work. None are better than others, just whatever you're more comfortable with. You just jump through here. And you want to log your position next to this block. Because essentially when you're in TIMESTOP, the game forgets... Well, it logs your position. Because currently the game tick timer will say is stopped. It's not loading anything new until I cross loading zones. But it thinks I'm still straddling between loading zones. But I've now logged my position as this block. So now where the glyph menu is back up, it thinks I'm still here. So at all points, while this glyph menu is still up, it still thinks I'm here. So just bear that in mind, that is currently what it's doing. Right, that explanation was bloody horrible, so we're going to try again. This is Raziel, okay? Use your imagination. Raziel's in between the two loading zones, just like I said before. Once TIMESTOP is got, so this is going to be mean paused. So TIMESTOP is now on. The game stops tracking where Raziel is. I then put my position next to a block, and then I deactivate TIMESTOP. Now the game knows that I'm next to the block. So the game will react as such. If I pressed action, it would try and flip the block, and so forth. But I then repause it. So now, when I go back over anywhere else, say here, the game still thinks that I'm here during TIMESTOP. And that's essentially what's happening. You just want to glide jump up here, jump around here. Now there's two ways of executing this. I will show you my way first. My way is crouch at this exact position, press action, wait about a third of a second, then press jump. Get ready to glide. So action, get ready to glide, and glide to the left. And then you kiss this door, and it loads this zone. Now the other way of doing this skip in particular, you crouch here, on this side of the door, sort of face towards the door where the door handle roughly is, and yet again it is action and jump. If it plays the animation, you need to be ready to jump directly after that animation, or you'll just fall into the ether, as demonstrated by me here. Oh, fuck. This actually brings me to an important point. If you are serious about learning this game and running this game, you need to have the Soul Reaver trainer. You need to. It's a must-have. It loads pretty good save states. For example, levels, more areas, training, and train 9 brings you to this point. You don't have to go through all the cutscenes and everything like that. And I would also recommend creating a save state after the intro is done to practice the first sort of half. One problem with this trainer, however, if you get past KAIN 1, and past KAIN 1 you save and reload. If you save and reload with a trainer save state, it will play the opening cutscene and will remove all progress. You can't save with the trainer, then load that save to do KAIN 2. You must do KAIN 1 legitimately, without the trainer. And that's why I recommend creating a save state called Intro Done, I've called it, which is just after the intro sequence. You can just create a save there, then you can load that, and you haven't crossed any loading zones, all the glitches still work. That is your best bet for training purposes, at least for the start, and at least doing the save and reload of KAIN 1 to KAIN 2. Bear in mind, if you use the trainer, obviously your run doesn't count for speedrunning.com. Yeah, so I feel like a diagram could be very useful. So this is my rough diagram of what's happening. Now there's the door, the walls, and these are the torches, okay? So if you put your position here, facing this way towards the door, you will be shifted this way about here off screen. Now the ground is, say, yay big, okay? So we're trying to get back into the ground. The animation might play here. They might play the animation to tip the box, because that's essentially what the game is trying to make you do. The game's trying to make you push a block that isn't there. So it tries to make you push a block that's over here for some reason. But the reason why I do this method, as you may see, is you get caught in the corner for a split second. Like about here, you get caught for a split second. You see it when you are doing it. It's at that point where I get ready to press jump. So that's about like a third of a second. Press jump. And if I'm not playing the animation, Raziel will now be here and be jumping, ready for me to glide back here and then load the zone. But if he's playing the animation, you need to wait until Raziel has flipped the box over like that. Oh wait, you can't tell that's Raziel. Okay, now it's very clear that it's Raziel, okay? So once Raziel has flipped over the box, you need to be ready to jump over here and then load the zone. And if for some reason you want to do it this side and totally contradict anything I've just said, you will not, there's not a corner, you won't catch onto the corner, you'll just appear here, really. Sometimes it plays animation, but not often. And yet again, all you're doing is jumping, gliding over here. But I think this side, because of that corner thing, allows you more time to get ready to jump back. But you can do either one, both work. Afterwards, you want to just jump over here. Walk to this corner, walk right, crouch, press action. You want to repeat this until you glitch through this wall. Now when it glitches to the wall, it will play an animation, like so. After animation, jump, glide into this hallway. So what we're trying to do is try and get Raziel to force through this little seam here. Now apparently if the game camera can see this, it seems to work less. So that's why you want to be sort of over the halfway mark. Who on earth is halfway? Anyway. The box that we're trying to flip for some reason is in here. This imaginary box that the game thinks is there when it's not. So when eventually it works and you get transported into here, you just need to wait for the animation, glide onto here. You'll want to walk through here, come to this corner. Now there's two ways of doing this, so I'll show you this way first. You want to crouch and look sort of whimsical over here to the distance, press action. If you come over here, cross this line, do it again. Right, now you're in the right position. Now, how to set up this vase varies. I've tried many a time to do this. So I walk through it, face left, press action, and that's me through. Now this is very inconsistent. Don't expect it to work every time. This is my 5th time recording it for a start. So just bear in mind, you won't get that every time. But it would be nice if you did. Now this is not to scale, I know, but this is the vase here, okay? That's the door and that's the wall. We're trying to get here. Now how we get here is simply by positioning ourselves roughly there. And we want to be trying to face this way. So these lines are the lines in the textures. Now this is very inconsistent, it will never work every time, but this is a rough position you want to be at. To be fair, facing any direction seems to work. It seems to just be very precise about your position, because essentially it's going to move you through there and hopefully get through this seam. Next is this red gate here. We're going to come to the right side of it, crouch, turn left. Now we're going to press action, then immediately press jump and get ready to glide to the right. Like so. I will show it in a very helpful diagram. Okay, so here's Raziel positioned roughly where I said, facing west. Now, when we crouch and press action while holding crouch, he gets transported to about here. Now, the animation almost never plays. I don't think I've ever seen it play. So that means we need to be ready to jump and glide back on the other side. Okay, to do this next skip, it's very precise position. what you want to do, I crouch to even get into this position because I don't trust I'll get it. Is you want to just be past the line on the column, be steering in that top right corner, and press action. And you should be here. Now, a lot of the time, if you've not got the position right, you'll just fall straight through the floor, or you'll teleport to here while being through the floor. And that's because you've essentially teleported inside this column, or too far over the wall. That warp is very, very precise, and I will draw a little diagram to help you get through it. Now, this isn't maybe exact, but it will be close enough to illustrate my point. Our Raziel is positioned here. Okay? So he's not that close to the wall, he's not that close to the column, but he's facing towards that corner. And then when you press action, you should be warping to pretty much dead on, almost attached to this column. That's because I think it warps a specific amount of distance. So it's very important you are far enough away from the block and the wall to get there. I feel like if you are too close to this, it gives you the same distance of the warp. So if you are positioned there, you seem to teleport inside the column, and that's where you fall through to the void and wish you were dead. Now you've done the column skip. Next thing we're going to do is remove TIMESTOP. How we do that is pan left, pan right, glyph menu down. Glyph menu up, let go of both pan left and right, put glyph menu back down. Right, there's no easy way to describe this, so you're just going to need to bear with me. These pink bars mean that once that's held, that's held. So therefore once this is held, this is held. These green bars mean that when these are both green, these are both green, and they're still being held. And these are our then arrows. Okay? That's how this is going to work. So you're holding step 1, line 1, holding pan left. Then we're holding pan right. So these are being held, guys, okay? Then we're opening the glyph menu. Wonderful. Line 2. Keep them held. Close the glyph menu. Then, oh look, they're not being held anymore. Open the glyph menu, close the glyph menu. And that is how releasing TIMESTOP happens. Come to the door, press action. And that is my KAIN 1 entry skip for those that are interested. And we're just about to get into the KAIN 1 boss fight. So I'm going to show you how to do the perfect KAIN fight. It sort of, you can force them into certain positions if you do specific movements, so that's roughly what I'm going to show you. Okay, so first of all, you want to face forward, jump over here, hold auto face or lock on, hit them, come to that right corner, lock on, come around here, come to this corner here, and then hit him again. That's how you do the perfect KAIN fight. There's no faster way, no better way. So yeah, do that. Now, so this is roughly the layout of this room, okay? So the KAIN will spawn here, here, and here, okay? Now the game wants to spawn at these locations at the furthest distance away from Raziel, okay? So how to manipulate this is there are trigger zones, okay? Here and here. So what you want your pathing to be is, so when you're here, this KAIN is the one that's furthest away from you. So you want to go all the way over here and smush him. Kill this one, right? This one is deadified, canna spam, dead. You want to try and spawn this one. How to do it? Come round and hit this trigger one, just in that corner. He will then spawn. So then you go over here, smush this one. Now, this one is already sort of the furthest away from you. But to make sure, I have lost my cursor. You want to go all the way, while you want to pass this, come all the way and then smush him, and that's KAIN 1 done. That is the perfect way to do it. I hope this very helpful diagram has helped. So at this point, all you're doing is waiting for this cutscene to end, and all you're doing is saving and reloading. Now this cutscene is just about to finish. You'll see it unloads, just give it a second. It will load. It's not forgotten about you. Apart from when you're in TIMESTOP, then it has. This is when you pause, save game. I'm just going to do this one because I don't want to overwrite it. Then you overwrite, game done, then quit. Okay? Then for KAIN 2. So pretend I've saved post KAIN 1. This is a previous save that I've done on my third place run, actually. So we'll load you up. And there we have a Soul Reaver, all shiny. So all we're doing again is just run and jumping. But this time, bear in mind, there's no cutscenes this time around. So we just need to keep on going. Don't need to activate the portal. Don't need to eat the soul. But what you must always bear in mind is that if you've skipped a cutscene on KAIN 1, you still need to skip it on KAIN 2. So we have skipped the cutscene that's here, so we still need to do this double jump, okay? Because cutscenes don't unload. Oh, the activation of cutscenes carries over in your save file. So you don't want to, you know, activate a cutscene which you just spent time skipping on KAIN 1. Now remember, this is where I said it was important to not activate the water. And I didn't. Fantastic. Now the best way to skip this and be fast is to run and glide over here. I don't need to crouch because I was running. If you come to this side, this sort of corner, do your double jump setup, and get into this corner here, you skip the cutscene and you don't need to sort of aim for the block or jump off the block. You can get straight up to here and get TIMESTOP again. So just get TIMESTOP as before, which I've assumed you've all mastered now. This skip is the exact same as before. Log position at the block. Jump up here. It shouldn't really matter which side you come across, because we should be glitching over here now. Fantastic. And that means the run's correct. If it comes up the same way as it did in the KAIN 1 skip, that's fine. Just do the same way you did it before. It's nothing new. But you should go over to those flags, and all you need to do is run down here. Now get to here before dropping TIMESTOP, which I have shown you, as you know, in KAIN 1. So it's pan left, right. Jump over his attack so he doesn't hit it. You. Now getting to here, you will come to this sort of last plank that's sort of sticking out the side. Crouch, walk over to it. Double jump setup. Double jump. Come round to that corner. Glide back. Run right. There's a the cutscene trigger for this bit is huge. So glide over to that point and then glide back. If you're really, really scared, glide over onto that platform, then do a jump glide over here. But I think if you reach that point, then you should be fine. Jump glide over here. Here is another double jump. You're going to get really, really good at these double jumps. And then just glide over. You don't have to double jump, but the jump's very, very specific and very difficult. Just want to run, jump, run, jump. There's multiple ways you can do this one. But what you want to do, oh god, I'm getting stuck, is you want to jump over just above Raziel's head is, into that little crevice. Then you can either try and do a big brain jump over there, or if you enter Spectral Realm, it doesn't matter if you hit the water. Oh god. Then you just double jump. You can just double jump out of here. Oh god. You can just double jump out of here. Thank you. Because if you try and jump over here and hit the water, you're into the Spectral Realm anyway. But if you enter the Spectral Realm first, you've got a chance of just clearing the jump and even grabbing onto the edge. So entering Spectral Realm seems like the sort of best way to do it. And you can regenerate the health you lose. Because, well, there's a portal right here to get back into the Material Realm. So it doesn't really waste that much time. Wasted about half a second. And I think it's, you know, more constructive than destructive. So at this point, you just don't want to get hit. You don't want to lose the Soul Reaver. Because at this point, it's essentially a reset. Well, you can enter the Material Realm again. It's not the end of the world, but if you want a fast run, it's essentially a reset. Now the gate. You just want to wind up about here. Double jump. Grab onto there. Brilliant. Then walk over here. Double jump again. To get onto the brazier, whatever it's called. It is a bit of... It really doesn't like you being up here. Now, once it does light you up here, finally, you want to double jump over... It's hard to see with the fire, but that ledge on the top right. Okay, I'll do that. So, in the top left of the screen, that ledge. So it's another double jump setup. Don't know why the camera's done that. Got to the ledge, fantastic. Then it's just a crouch jump over to the left. So, way more over to the left. Crouch jump over to this left here. Now we're going to double jump over this texture here. Then glide to the left. I would recommend panning right so you can see your camera. And then we wind up down here. And this is where my KAIN door skip is. For those who wish to know. Then it's just jumping, jumping, jumping. Don't get hit. Try not to get hit, guys. Come through this door. Now, if you're scared of fucking up, which I can understand why. Either way, you need to come up here. So you come up around here. If you're scared of fucking up, go to this portal door, activate the portal, save a game, and that means you've got a quick reload for KAIN 2. I did that for my 43-minute run. If you ever want to see that, I wouldn't want to. It was quite entertaining to watch. Now here, there's a loading seam. I don't know if you can see it. I feel it's pretty obvious. And we're going to get TIMESTOP. Now TIMESTOP seems to be a bit difficult here. So it does take a little repositioning because you seem to glide down slowly. So I'd recommend just sort of walking towards it for a second before trying to get it. And it just sort of seems to sort of glide you down into position. Now come down here to the right. Log position next to this guy. Run away. So it's essentially like what we're doing with the block, but now we've got a Soul Reaver, we can stab things. Cross the loading zone. Very important. If you don't do it, it just won't work. You might glitch to the floor or something. You'll glitch somewhere that you don't want to be. Then come round to just right of this sort of crevice in the texture. Then press stab, and you teleport in here. Load the zone. Come back out. How to line this up is very different for many people because we're essentially going through this long circular wall here because the floor texture extends beyond this circular texture. So what you want to do is hold face like the lock on button. What I do is I get my right foot sort of in line with the right side of the writing, the vertical writing, and then press. Now what you need to do is you're pressing stab, immediately pause the game. Stab, immediately pause. Now, you unpause the game for about half a second and then repause. And as you may see, you are through the wall. Now, the safest way to do this, the safest way, is to lock on and walk backwards. Then let go. Then the camera will move and you will see how much rune you've got. You can just walk through, but you don't know where on this texture you've just came out of. So I would recommend locking on and then moving. All you do is you jump across. Now, when we're doing that stab, pause the game, and then unpausing the game, this is roughly what's happening, okay? So trying to stab this, as you pause the game, it interrupts the animation. Then when you lift the pause, so start the game again, he's going to go here, hit off this wall and bounce back off. What you're trying to do is pause the game so he's in this wall. Okay? So that when you lift it, he's going to be around here. Just sort of embedded in this wall, this rough area. The reason why you want to auto-phase as you're going this way is for the obvious reason of this is only the amount that the floor texture is actually extended, so you could just fall into oblivion. Which, as we know, ain't great. Then you come down here. Glide down here. Now that was just a little bit of fanciness from me. You can't just land down and then jump up, but if you follow that sort of glide down, you get in here without having to do a jump up. Now here I haven't got the exact measurements for this, so I take a much wider line than anyone else does. But what I do is I run and jump up until I cross this corner here. Then I jump back down and cross that line, this path. So like get further than the path. And that's number 1. We're going to do this 3 times. 2. Wonderful. And 3. Now what this does is this is resetting your stab target, which is necessary later. Now just jump down here, we're going to the jump down here, we're going to the left, and we're greeted with this big fat bloody door. You want to sort of straddle that dot on the floor. Now what you're going to do is jump, then stab, get ready to glide into the other side of the door. So jump, stab, ready for the animation, get ready to jump inside. You need to be ready. If you're not ready for any of these skips, you will fall and you will fail. Not to be dramatic or anything, but that's just the truth. We'll just come round here, be as fast as you want. Just getting round, getting round, getting round. Because then we're greeted with another door, which we're doing the exact same thing. Just want to be slightly off from the edge. Yet again, jump, stab. Get ready to jump, just at the exact end of the animation, and then you're in. Want to cross the halfway point of the door. So imagine there's an invisible line on the halfway of the door, like of this emptiness of a door. Press stab. You'll glitch through what would be a door, but it's invisible. Then you jump round, fall down, fall down, fall down. Log position next to this guy. Come round here. Jump, glide. Come through here. Be careful because it's a void. Yeah, it's a blind spot. Crouch to get sort of near the edge and not quite there. Yet again, jump, stab. Teleport here. Jump down, jump. Not down, but jump. Jump across here. Now this jump is pretty... No, okay. I know it's been a bit confusing for the last wee bit. But it's essentially the same skip, so I don't want to dwell on it. It's just getting the timing of that jump after the stab animation, that's the issue. Okay, so my jump is on right shift. This isn't my jump. This is also my jump. And my stab is on the up arrow. So that's stab. Okay. So from waiting between jump and stab, you want Raziel to be bending his knees, okay? You want to be bending his knees before he stabs. How do I make him look like Raziel? Okay, that works. So Raziel, he's bend his knees, then press stab. Then you want to wait in between the stab and the next jump and subsequent glide. You want to wait for the animation to finish. So he stabs with his long sword, and then just as he brings his stab back, once he starts bringing his sword back, oh wait, you can't tell this is Raziel. So once Raziel stabs, and then as he's pulling the sword back, just as he starts to pull the sword back, you need to jump, and then subsequent glide if you have to. But in that last one, you don't need to worry about that jump. In that last one, you just need to get your jump and stab timing correct. Now here, this is a very awkward jump. It's just a crouch jump, but it's a crouch jump in which we get the height while we're along here, while we're along against this wall, but we have to land on that platform in what's at the top of your screen. So I'll try and just demonstrate it like that. Now this jump is difficult. No bones about it, it's difficult to get the height, to make sure you come around the wall fast enough to keep the height across, but it's just a very hard crouch jump. That's all it is. Drop down here. Now there'll be a friend in here waiting for you. Look, here he is. You just want to store your position against him. Then we want to jump down here. All the way down. Come through here. Do parkour for fun, even though you don't need to do it. Now here, you can do the jump stab like I explained before, but it's not necessary. I just stab, then get ready to glide to the left. We're going sort of like, not just left, also forward, but it's mainly left. So just stab, get ready to glide left. Now you want to go behind that door that appears, and now you want to enter this hallway. Now you'll be relieved to know that this is essentially the last of the glitches. Once you get into this hallway, there's no real more glitches. The only thing we've got to do left is the last boss fight. Now the last boss fight is relatively tricky. It's trickier than the first one, but it holds a sort of same merit. And in fact, while we're going down this, I'm actually going to, you know what, I'm going to use a very helpful diagram. So this is roughly the KAIN 2 map, okay? So at the start, you spawn here. Now this is the ground level, first level, and second level, okay? He spawns there first. All you do to remedy this, up there, smush him. Remember to hold auto face and press action. You then start here, and then KAIN spawns up here. You again, guess what you do? You run over there, jump up, show him his boss. After the final smush, you are here. Then if you wait for him to spawn, he shows up over there. Best way to do this, you can glide, you can go straight over like that, and then you're jumping over and smushing him. And that is essentially how to do the KAIN 2 fight. This hallway is very long. You may think you're lost, but I promise you, we're getting somewhere, okay? You should see this in the actual main game, on like a 100% run or something. You have to go through every fucking cutscene here. So just be glad you're missing out on that. I would recommend playing through the game normally before speedrunning it, just so you get familiar with the controls and how Raziel behaves. And also, it's just a really fun game, and you shouldn't ruin it before you actually experience the game. you know, how nature intended. So what you do is you go left, and down here. Now, remember to take off TIMESTOP before opening this door. Remove TIMESTOP as we always have. Okay? Okay, let's put our diagram into practice. And this is where my KAIN 2 entry split is, just for those who are curious. Now this is yet again an unskippable cutscene. Not much we can do about that. I do await your latest move. So wait until he spawns. Stabbed. So wait till he spawns. They'll spawn over there. And then stab. Don't stab, sorry. I'm using action. I'm not pressing stab. Probably good to differentiate that right now. Wait till he spawns again. Right, I heard him spawn. Oh, good. Oh, good, oh, good, oh, good. And that's what happens when you die. This is a very good demonstration of death. This is totally meant as part of the tutorial. It's good to both know what happens when you succeed and fail. It's always good to stand here when you don't know where he is, because you will heal automatically. And you will spawn up here and attacked. And this is where the run finishes. That is where you do your final split. The game is over. The run is done. Hopefully you haven't beaten my attempt, because that would be more than annoying. Anyway guys, I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. I don't know how many other tutorials I'm going to be doing. Any percent is the one thing I do know how to do. So I really hope you enjoyed it, guys. And check out the rest of the videos on the channel. There's live stream clips. There's my PB on this game. And there's other games as well. I've played a little bit of chess. I've played a little bit of Syndicate as well. Played a bit of UFC 2, which I've actually got a world record in. So yeah, don't be a stranger. Check out the Twitch at ReallyBigChaz. I'm on Twitter as well. So subscribe to the channel. Follow the link down below to the Twitch and Twitter and so forth. And hopefully I'll see you guys in a stream chat or in the comments section. Anyway, see you later.